What's up guys, Otto here at Winddance. Just gonna show you how we set up our four-wheel drive system. So the first thing you wanna do is you're gonna take off all these nuts here, which are attached to these T's. And you have to take them all the way off to slide them into the track system on this F1 rocket here. So once we get all the nuts off, we're gonna then take the G-nuts here. Let's take all four of them. They're gonna slide them into the track system here. Once we do that, then you just take the four-wheel drive, you line it up on the four holes here. Second set of hands helps with this. You get that set in there, and you're going to want to have it towards the back just because this has so much thrust on it. And then we're going to thread these nuts on here, and you're going to want the cone here with that facing downwards into it, and then it sets nicely into this F1 mass top plate. Then we're going to take our 15 mil wrench here. Just going to want to make sure that those are tight, just as you would with your normal foil setup. The last one here. Once we get that in, we're going to put the battery in. So you're going to take both of these clips off at the same time, slide this forward, and then we're going to grab one of our max power batteries here. You're going to want to slide that into the system, take the cover here, and then again, both clips at the same time, you're going to want to clip it down, and you're good to go. And then we'll do foil assembly here. Okay, so for today, we're going to use the 7C's 1300 front wing. And then for the rear wing, we're going to be using the 170 downwind HM carbon. So we're going to chuck the front wing on. You're going to have the three 32 mil bolts. We're just going to put those in. And I like to just set them all in first before I start tightening any of them a lot, so it doesn't stress out the carbon or the mast at all. And just make sure you always keep pressure on the top so you're not going to strip the bolts out.
This one.
So we have that one there. And then we'll chuck on the stabilizer here.
Okay.
This is the double XS 170 downwind tail. So I'll give us some nice glide. And then we got the bottom screw as well.
Fine.
We'll tighten this one down, and then we're all good to go. Okay guys, so with the controller, all you're gonna do is you're gonna hold this power button on the side. The screen's gonna come up, and on the screen when you turn it on, it's gonna say that it's locked. And so you're just gonna hold this trigger button there until it says unlocked, and then as you'll see, it's connected with the four-wheel drive system. And you're going to want to make sure to keep this cover on the four-wheel drive, just because these blades, if they get spinning, can chop your fingers off pretty easily. And then lastly, you're going to make sure you have an impact vest on or something to protect you just from the foil, and then also just from hitting the water hard because it gets hurt. So let's get out there. Okay, so guys, we just ran out of our first battery, so we're going to plug another one in. So you're gonna want to take both clips off at the same time there. Slide that off, pull the battery out. Then you're gonna take your new fresh charged battery, slide that in, the cover, and then both clips at the same time. Clip them, you're good to go for another set. Okay, so guys, when we're on this, we're gonna wanna make sure that you're kind of an extension of the mast with your feet. And so you're gonna wanna have one foot on the very back of the deck pad, and then your other foot far forward in kind of a neutral stance. A little bit further than shoulder widths apart, it's kind of personal preference. And then you're gonna wanna make sure to have a lot of front foot pressure. Because of the motor, it's gonna wanna porpoise out of the water. So let's give it a try. Okay guys, so we have Spencer here. Spencer just had his first session out in the foil drive, and he learned a couple things. So he's gonna tell you guys what you should think about when you have your first session out in the foil drive.
It's not all that scary, but you're gonna want to fall with the board as soon as you lose your balance, just stay with that fall instead of trying to correct yourself, because I got pretty close to landing with my head on the foil. And the other thing was front foot pressure. Even though it feels really weird and you think you're putting all your weight, you can always shift your weight onto that hip. Makes it feel a little bit better.
And that's a big change from surfing that you do a lot in Hawaii.
Yes, I do.
It's weird. It's a different change, but you just gotta adapt to the changes.
Adapt and overcome, as the Marine said.
I wake up again, wanna free my mind, wanna be outside, wanna be alive, pray I wake up again,
Graceful.
wanna free my mind, wanna be outside, wanna be alive, pray I wake up again.
Oh, smooth turn. Yeah.
I know the sunshine is
Okay, so we got Max here, who just went out on the foil drive for his first time, and he's gonna tell you what his tips and tricks are for first time e-foil on the foil drive.
You know, I was pretty optimistic when we went out there. I didn't really think I'd figure it out very quickly, but then I learned that it's just all about practice and being patient, and it's a lot of movement of your feet and balancing your weight to be able to figure it out. So once I figured it out, I knew that I kind of had to bend my body forward so that I didn't bring the foil all the way out of the water.
So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to porpoise out of the water.
So it's all about adjusting your foot positions and trying out different combinations.
Trying out different things is probably the best way that you can learn.
That's your tip for today, guys. Come out and try our e-foil.